Keith, I know how to do this. Okay, so how are we going to start it now?
So we know the actual name this time. Like, hey, welcome to Way Off Topic. Welcome to our show.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome. Way Off Topic.
Way Off Topic, where we just talk nonsense all day.
Every day. Literal nonsense. And we have a special guest today, Maggie.
We're so excited.
Hi.
Maggie.
Thank you.
Can't tell, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about something actually pretty serious.
Very serious.
We're going to discuss climate change.
Usually we talk nonsense, but today we're definitely being serious. Even though we have these costumes on,
It's always a time for climate change.
we really need to talk about climate change.
She answers the phone. Does outreach and marketing. I operate the gear and sing the theme song. Our favorite time of year, so won't you join us? Happy Halloween.
All right, let's just get right into Halloween. I mean, look at our awesome backdrop. You guys did an amazing job setting this up today.
Yeah,
It looks so cool.
it's pretty amazing. Actually, Maggie had a big part in that role, picking out this backdrop for us.
I did, and I love it every single time I see it. I love it a little bit more.
Absolutely. Especially with the lights now, the purple. Ooh, I just love it.
Yeah, next week we're going to have some little kitties in here, taking some pictures,
Hopefully.
dogs.
Yeah.
To
Ooh.
clarify, by kitties, she means human children, not cats.
Although Maggie could bring her cats.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I don't think my
they don't
cat would
travel well.
survive.
No.
Yeah, it would be a little bit too long of a drive for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might. But
I might partake.
Are you bringing your dog?
I am bringing my dog. Ellie is going to be a spider. She's definitely coming. Yeah.
I'm going to bring Mabel in, I think, on Wednesday.
Nice.
To
doesn't
clarify,
really-
Mabel is a human person and not a dog.
She is a human being. Depends on the day, but she does have two costumes this year because school does Literacy Day opposed to Halloween. So you can come as like a character from a book versus a Halloween costume. Her Halloween costume is some dude. I don't know who it is. It's some guy
dude.
from a cartoon. Like she's got the hair and everything. But for the book, she's doing Wizard of Oz, which she's all prepared to like tell everybody it was the series before it was the movie. So she's going as Dorothy, which is adorable.
that's
Actually,
adorable.
she got the shoes
I was
yesterday.
going to say, did you get the red shoes?
And I got like their actual heels, and she's never worn
Oh
heels.
my goodness, she's going to be
The
so
video of her, yes,
cute.
she was walking around the house, and she is not like. It's a mess. It's a disaster.
I
She's just,
cannot
like,
wait to see that.
trying to walk around. So
She has a little bit of time to try to figure it out.
I think she's gonna. I think
Absolutely.
she's gonna keep wearing them. She's like, I'd like to wear them to school today, tomorrow, the next day. I'm like, well, let's settle down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, on that topic, if you were going to dress up for Literacy Day, like what would you be? Like what was your favorite book when you were little? We've stumped her.
Yeah, I wasn't a book person as a kid.
I was.
Yeah.
I know what I would be.
What would
What?
Nancy Drew. I read every Nancy Drew book growing up, so I'd be Nancy Drew.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
That'd be fun. What would you do?
I was not a big reader either,
No.
but I think if I had to choose, I would be Claudia from The Babysitter Club.
I was gonna say Babysitter's Club
Yeah.
because that's probably like one of the series that I read
Yeah.
like as a kid.
Wasn't
but
she like the lead, like the
I
the
think
head
so.
honcho of the babysitters?
Did you ever watch the Netflix show?
No,
Do it immediately.
Really?
Well, you're not like a TV person, right? Like,
not really, but
It's cute. It's just a mini series of Babysitter's Club. It was precious.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I liked it.
What about you, Keith?
Like what book character would I be?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'd probably be like an elf from Dungeons and Dragons or something. Like it's
Nice.
That tracks.
I like it.
Did you have a favorite costume growing up?
I am so old that I had the costumes that had like the plastic faces on them,
Yes.
and I had Annie. I had like like little orphan Annie.
Oh wow.
It was
Oh,
really
wow.
creepy.
That is.
But I think my favorite
Fragrant? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, my
Favorite?
favorite costume was the Smurfs.
Oh, were you
The
Smurfette?
plastic face, yeah, with the big blonde hair. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Maggie, what about you?
So, believe it or not, my costumes have always been kind of just boring. Like, I was an angel, I was a cheerleader, I
Cute.
was a ghost.
Cute.
But nothing like, I don't know what my favorite was because they were all just so bland that nothing's jumping out at me.
My
at
mom used
all.
to home make mine in the beginning, and I remember I think I was 3, and she sent me as Madonna. I remember like
With
yes,
the cones?
I didn't have the cones, but it was questionable.
How old were you?
I think I was 3 or 4, and it was like a hot pink mini skirt that had like black polka dots, a big blonde wig, like. And I remember wanting to wear it all the time because I was obsessed with Madonna. Side story. We had neighbors with their last name.
Fascinating.
We had
This is
neighbors with the last
fascinating.
name Bertrand, and I used to think like a virgin was like a Bertrand. So I would go around and be like a Bertrand. Hey, like that was my.
Mow the lawn for the very first time.
I do have 2 photos of what I was, and I don't know. There's one that I don't know what this was supposed to be. I do know I'm wearing my dad's jeans, and I think maybe his leather jacket as well. So here you go. Yes, I don't know. Perhaps. Boxers. They must have been his boxers as well. I don't know. Like I just must have raided his closet and been like,
Wow.
I'm going. And then obviously my lovely devil costume. This is so like 90s. Just look at like the wood paneling and everything.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty sweet.
And I remember I had to be, I would say 11 or 12 there. I remember the tights because they were red, but then they had gold sparkly flames that went up all the way. It was so fun.
I've always tried to kind of think outside the box
Mm-hmm.
with the Halloween costumes. I always really wanted that like really off the wall one.
Something different.
One year it was funny because I used to do that with my kids too. Like I really like one year I dressed Ryan up. He was into Mario, so I literally made the whole Mario Kart, which was like really cool. And so one year, Olivia, I wanted her to be one of those glow in the dark, just like stick figures. Have you seen those costumes? Yeah. They're like so funny. And so I made it myself. Like you could buy them now, but I made it. And so I made the glue sticks all together and then made her body. And so when you go trick-or-treating though, it's not always dark.
That's true.
So she kind of looked ridiculous. She looked like it was all like taped to her. And she was so mad.
Oh.
And she loved Halloween when she was little. And she always had, these princess dresses. And I always like spent a lot of money on Halloween. And this year I was like, no, this is going to be so cool. Like everyone's going to like be like, look. And so she walked around for the first like hour and a half, like sulking because she was like so sad that nobody knew what she was supposed to be. But the minute it got dark,
Then that's
she was like
cool.
the coolest kid.
Of course.
Like, and she didn't really care about that, but she was just like so happy that it just, came to life.
It came to play.
It
Like
came to
everything
life,
was
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
That is fun.
But yeah, my parents used to have a trailer in New Hampshire. And they used to have Halloween in like the end of September before all the
Oh
trailers,
yeah, I have
like,
friends that do
closed.
that too. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was really cool. And one year I was a tea bag. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Like I like those like off the wall ones. Like I have a picture of it. We can show it at some point. But
Yeah,
here, I'll just show it to you now.
I want to see.
It's pretty
I
funny.
can put it on the screen.
Yeah, I
later.
think I put those pictures in there too, so you can put them on the screen.
So for those of you in the future, you're probably looking at the actual picture, and now we just sound like idiots. Of course, we were going to sound like idiots one way or the other. So
Us sounding like idiots.
That's me as a tea bag. It's pretty sweet.
Aw.
Yep. And of course, I've been a gnome several times. Because
You
that's
love
my
those
thing.
gnomes.
Yeah, not this year. Not this year.
You tried.
I did try. I did.
I thought it was cute, but
Yeah.
you were not a fan.
So did you guys like in your town? Did you was trick or treating like a huge deal, or was it kind of not? Because I know these days it's huge.
Yeah, I was really lucky where I grew up. It was a dead end street, but it was like a half a mile long, and then it had 5 side streets that went off of it. So
Yep.
it was like optimal for trick or treating. You could
Yep.
just, if you had the stamina, you could continue on. My neighbor, who he still lives there and he still does it every year. He does his whole yard.
Oh, that's
And it's
cool.
like all like the animatronics and like it's so you just really walk through and it was so fun. And every year he would add more and more. And I'd bring the kids and of course they were always terrified, but I was like, you have to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like a rite of passage growing up. Like
Right.
you have to go through it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, people took it pretty seriously,
Yeah.
I think.
What about you guys? Was it a big deal when you were a kid?
It was a pretty big deal. Like we would always go around the neighborhoods, and then when I moved to Dracut, I don't know if you guys have ever even heard of this, but I actually went trick or treating at the mall instead of actual
Oh, that's cool.
neighborhoods.
Mm.
And we were just inside, but we always went. And now I go with my little cousins, and
Oh.
I go in Dracut. There's like a neighborhood that has literally everything, and it's a safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I just go with them now and let them have all their fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty big deal, trick or treating.
It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I really wish that they would just move trick or treating to Saturdays always.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think Halloween needs to be on it doesn't need to change, but like trick or treating would be so optimal if it's on a Saturday. Like remember as a kid, I remember my mom would do like a little Halloween party in the day, so we'd like have all like the candy and our friends come over and pizza and stuff like that, and then like you'd gear up all day long and then go out and then be able to sleep in on Sunday. But now like getting your kids to school after trick or treating.
Yeah, forget it. I feel bad for teachers. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh my gosh.
ridiculous.
And of course I always
Does
wanna
your
bring
wife
in
say
candy.
that?
What, like, are the kids
after
worse
Halloween?
after Halloween?
That's good.
I don't know. My wife's a really fun teacher, and so she'll show like I think she always has multiple
Yes.
costumes for like the week of Halloween and everything. So like I think she
That's
fully
awesome.
embraces the
that's
fun
cool.
chaos of it. So
So I've been taking notes like anytime I try to think of something that I want to say on the podcast. The other week I wrote paper bags, naked trash babies.
I feel like I remember that, but I don't remember what context.
I'm thinking because eventually I'd like to do a what grinds my gears, and I know paper bags is like up there. Like I love the environment,
but
I wanna
naked
save it.
babies.
but like I can't stand. You can't carry a paper bag. Like you can do one at a time at best.
yeah, but naked
I don't.
babies.
Well, they are in a different line, so I don't know if it was naked trash babies or naked
I'm
and
just
then
gonna leave that
trash
one
and then
alone.
babies.
I don't
But
feel like I can say anything about that.
there is nothing to say.
Naked trash babies
Naked trash
or
babies.
trash naked babies.
No, it's paper bags, naked trash, and babies.
Were you there for that?
no.
That was a private conversation.
And it's gonna come to me at the most random time. Naked
Very
trash
weird.
babies. There you had it.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah,
You being a parent and all,
yeah.
Maggie, maybe you could answer this on behalf of your nieces. So when you get the candy, when all the kids get the candy, like, did you eat it?
Do I eat her candy?
Yeah.
Of course. It's like a tax. I did the work too. First of all, I paid for the costume.
Right.
You're welcome.
Right.
Second of all, I walked the streets with you. You're welcome.
Okay.
I kept you safe. I'm going to check it.
I'm gonna check it by eating it.
Mom, what happened to my Smarties? Oh, they were all poison.
They were all,
They-
all of it was
absolutely
poison.
all of
razor
them.
blades galore in those Smarties.
They were bad.
My
Very
adult
bad.
stomach can handle it, so
Yeah.
you're welcome.
No, yeah, I pick out my favorites. Like, so we're actually pretty lucky. Like, I'm a huge Mounds fan.
Okay.
Her dad is a huge Reese's fan. Her stepmom is a huge Almond Joy fan, and Tom will just eat any candy. So, like, I take the Mounds for me. Like, the
Yeah.
Almond Joys goes to Stacy, and Eric takes the Reese's. Mabel likes Reese's too, but I feel like you get 1 million Reese's.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I would be so okay with 1 million Reese's.
I know.
I can
know,
eat
right?
one at most. Like, that's
At
my
most one.
one.
See, I put them in the fridge and then I just like kind of grab at them for a very long time after that.
I don't know if it's like the orange that makes it like the perfect Halloween candy.
Yeah, maybe. But I am definitely that type of mom that like will be like, I don't know what happened to your candy. Like
No.
somebody stole it.
Yeah, there's no way.
Somebody,
No, I'm
like,
just like,
it's
I ate
gone.
it. I'm like, I ate it. I look her straight in the eyes. I go, I ate that. Thank you so much.
Yes. That was for me.
That one was for me. That was special for me. Thank you so much. What
So,
about you?
so
Eat the
did your
candy
kids
too?
Well, no, for the girls, their parents definitely eat the candy. They do, but once in a while, like when Gianna comes, mostly Gianna. Callie is really protective of her food. Like if anyone knows her, you don't mess with her food.
Me?
But Gianna likes to share. So once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, Gianna, what did you get?" And she'll be like, "Oh, do you want something?" So I'll take like one thing, but like, no, I won't eat
You
her
won't eat
candy.
hers.
Just they're not my
They're
kids.
not, yeah.
But I feel like when I do have kids, I will absolutely be
Yep.
eating their candy.
Yeah, it's
so.
just you have to.
Yeah,
they can
it
eat all
is.
that.
It's a parent.
They'll be sick if they eat all that. They'll go crazy, sugar high.
Yeah, we
like-
should be the sick ones.
Exactly.
We'll
You're doing
take
them
the
a
fall.
service at that point
We'll
by
take
taking
the fall
it.
for that.
Yeah.
That's being a good parent. I mean, all
Mhm.
good parents do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what about haunted houses? You guys down with that or no?
I used to be. I used to like them a lot. Like they scared me, but now I don't know. Maybe because I'm getting older, I'm just like,
I can't do it.
No, me either.
Mm,
I'm not into it.
Alyssa likes to go, or she did, when she was younger. And the last time I went in one, I held on to my friend so hard that she had my fingerprints as bruises on her arms, and I peed myself. So
I don't know if that was pee or sweat, but I'm pretty sure it was pee. That was a quote from Danielle a long time ago.
so I can't do it. It's just not. I'd rather go to an actual house that's supposedly haunted than a haunted house where it's a real human being chasing me. Like
I get that.
I don't want that. Like
get
I don't
that.
want Chad coming at me with like a chainsaw. No.
Yeah, the chainsaws get me too. I don't
the
like
noise.
those.
Like I'm all set. So
I love the chainsaw.
do you?
Mm.
Yeah, I bought
Oh,
one.
you bought
Remember?
one, that's right.
Yeah,
I bought a chainsaw.
I did. And I
She's
love
out
it.
there chopping trees and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I'm
Johnny
like
Appleseed
a
over here.
lumberjack.
Wait, did Johnny Appleseed take down trees? He definitely did, right?
I don't know.
This is Engineer Dylan. I have a quick story related to this. Last week, I was with a agent that we work with, and we were at this nearby lake in Athol, the town I live in. And she was saying that they briefly or more recently started doing like haunted hay rides through the park. And so I texted my girlfriend. I was like, hey, we could probably go check this out, whatever. This was a Friday. And so we were like, oh, maybe we'll go like Saturday or something. That
Heard
same Friday night, my girlfriend found an article, and it was multiple people were hospitalized from this hayride.
I did. I saw. I was just gonna say that.
They,
I
like, broke
saw
down
that
or something.
Yeah, there was
I was
like
like-
it
I
was
was like,
some
good thing we
freak
didn't
accident
go.
or something.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened, but I was like, good thing we didn't go to this janky hayride.
No, I think it ended up being like it was put on by the Lions Club, and I think a lot of people in Athol, were concerned that they weren't getting the revenue from it that they usually get, and obviously they were concerned about the people. I think the people were okay though. Like it was minor injuries after all.
I can't imagine it was like.
I gotta take these things off. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Yeah. No, I couldn't
gotta
imagine
go.
that it was like intense, but
Right.
I heard that people were hospitalized. I was like,
My God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've also been informed Johnny Appleseed planted the seeds and Paul Bunyan cut them down. So you're Paul Bunyan
I'm Paul Bunyan.
with your chainsaw.
Oh, and I have my flannel on, so.
Paul Bunyan.
This is a true story. My dog, we do call her Ween all the time, like little Weenie.
Mhm.
And her Instagram name, she really does have like 3,000 followers on Instagram. And her name is Queen Belly Ween. Because her name, we named her Eloise, but then we just call her Ellie Belly. And then we just called her Belly.
Little
And
Ween.
now we call her Little Bean.
Little Bean.
Little Ween.
Little Ween Bean.
I think that's the natural life cycle of like a pet's
Yeah,
nickname.
right?
Like Osito, we don't call him Osito. Like, so we used to call him Osito. And then we would call him Osito Bonito, which means
Right.
like cute little bear in Spanish. And then we would call him Cito Bito. And then we called him Seat Beat. And now we just call him Squeet.
Yeah, like they evolve, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the nonsense just like gets thrown from one bucket to the next until it's like unrecognizable.
Yeah.
They're like, why do you call your dog Squeet? And we're like, well,
We don't know.
it's complicated.
We don't know. That's a long
We
story.
don't have time for that.
That's actually a long story. We don't have time for that.
What about Halloween movies? What's your favorite?
Let's talk
like,
spooky movies.
spooky movies.
Spooky.
What's your favorite Halloween? Like if you're about to sit down and kick off your Halloween season, what's the first movie that you play?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
I will always love Freddy Krueger.
Do you have a specific one that's your
I
favorite?
like the first one. I think the more they went on, it just like I lost a little bit of interest, but the first one was
It gets
like,
really, really corny by the end.
yeah.
I think 1 or 3 is my favorite of those. Because those are like the most true to like the original.
Yeah.
But there's a vibe to the first one that's really especially good.
What about you?
I'm not a scary movie person at all. 0%.
But there's also like a whole genre of like
yeah, no, I was
they're
gonna
like
say,
Halloween movies, but they're not horror movies.
Yeah, like
you know?
my go-to is Halloween Town.
Like
remember that
Hocus
movie?
Pocus or like
Halloween Town from like the 90s. I love it. I put it on and like the taxi cab driver, he's like the skeleton. I just love it. I love it so much.
I'm more of a Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin.
Oh yeah. Okay. I do love scary movies though.
The Great Pumpkin. Sorry. Kidding.
Do you like Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
my
that.
stomach just
Elm Street's
Scream.
better, I think.
Elm
but
Street's better.
I think again it's the same. The first one's really good, and then they get progressively like, what's happening?
Yeah.
By the time Jason takes Manhattan, it's like, okay, all right.
I have a good Friday the 13th story, like actual Friday the 13th. And it made me think of it because we just had an October one, which is
Yeah.
the best Friday the 13th.
Absolutely.
You know? So many, many years ago, there's this street in Billerica and it's called Dudley Road. And it's like the spooky road. Like it's haunted. You're supposed to go down it and see ghosts. The long short of it is, no, cut that. Don't let me say that. The story
The long
is,
and short of it is.
Yeah.
In my professional opinion.
No. So the story goes.
You know, if you ask me to cut something on camera, I'm definitely not going to
stay
cut
here
it.
forever.
It's definitely going in.
The long and short of it, in my professional opinion,
The story of Dudley Road is so there's a convent on the road, which is really random for Billerica. Like maybe it's random everywhere for just a convent to be like just chilling there in this like neighborhood.
yeah, I'd say.
So it starts off and it's a convent. And then as you drive down the road, it gets like more narrow and like tight. And it's a lot. You've been on
I've
this road.
been there, yeah.
It's a lot of vegetation, like a lot of farmland. I don't think there's a single street light anywhere. So it's a spooky road and it's very windy. So supposedly there's 2 different legends. Like at, I think the early 1900s, a few nuns were starting to practice Satan.
Witchcraft.
Yeah. And so that was found and they were hung out in the field. So supposedly they haunt the field. But then there's another story that a nun got pregnant and they hung her on a tree. No, she hung herself on a tree. And if you drive by this specific tree, you can see the kick marks from where she tried. So anyway, back to the story. It was my friend's brother's birthday, and he was turning like 12. So being a Friday the 13th, his mom was like, I'll take you and your friends down this road as like the end of your spooky birthday or whatever. So my friend Crystal was like, we're going to scare them. We're going to park on the road and I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. I'm like, yeah, cool. It's a Friday night. Let's hang around. So we're driving up and down this road. She has this teeny car. It's like a Mercury Capri, like barely a backseat. But this teeny car, convertible, you're just kind of scrunching that. We drive up and down this street, I mean hours, like waiting. We knew they were going to a movie first. We're waiting. We park like in a farm. We're waiting. Nothing. So she's like, let's just go home. I don't know when they're coming. Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I'm so sorry.
So we leave, but then she's like, nope, I need to go back. I have a feeling it's happened. Like they're going to be there now. Let's go. I'm like, all right, fine. We go back. We're driving. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Our windshield has been ectoplasmed. Like, we're like, that's a ghost. We just hit a ghost. We cannot see. She literally goes down under her seat.
Driving?
And is driving like this. And we're screaming. I'm crying, like sweating. We're like, they're coming through the convertible. We're ghosted. Like we're whatever.
Dead. We're dead.
So
now.
we drive home. It's like a 10-minute drive home. She lived next door. So she goes into my driveway and I'm like, aren't you like coming in? And she's like, no, I'm going home. I'm like, I can't sleep alone. We were just ectoplasmed. Like, what are you talking about? We go home. I don't sleep a wink. The next morning she calls me, Danielle, we were egged.
I was thinking that.
We were egged. She's
Oh my
like
God.
all on the roof, like on the front, everywhere. And she's like, also, they did end up going down the road, and my mom was pulled over and asked if they were egging people.
Oh my God. Yes, I am egging people with
She
my
was like, yes, here I am, a mother of all
Yeah.
these children, and yes, we're out here egging people. But for, I would say, a good 10 hours, I was like, we killed a ghost. Like, you
We
could not have
actually killed a
convinced me
ghost.
otherwise. Like, there was no explanation, no other possibility. We killed the nun ghost. But no, we were just egged.
You killed the nun ghost who's already dead?
Yes, yeah, it can happen, Keith.
Sure.
Yucky.
Hello, it can happen
Of
very
course
much.
it can happen. Anything can happen.
Actually, ghosts don't have a corporeal form. So
Listen, we squished the ectoplasm.
I don't have anything to say about scary movies, unfortunately.
I love scary
But
movies.
you guys can.
I love like I'm more of a ghost scary movie than like a slasher scary movie, like all the Conjuring movies, Insidious.
I can't watch exorcisms.
No.
I don't know what it is, but they mess with me for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's
I like
bad.
to get messed up, but
no, like I'll have
that's a-
We
That's
might,
good. Clip that.
have, we might have to get that cut out.
There was one movie recently that like really messed me up for like, I mean, like weeks. Hereditary.
Oh, you haven't seen it? It's there's a lot of people didn't like it because there's just so few jump scares and it's kind of a slow burn, but it's chilling.
I don't think I took a breath for like 30 minutes after like the scene.
The scene,
The
yeah.
scene.
When you watch it, you'll know what we're talking about.
And I sat there just like, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
and sat there and I couldn't, and it's
What's it on? Is it on like
probably on Amazon
Good
and
question.
stuff.
I think I
It's-
watched it on Shudder a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but
it's Tony Collette, right? Tony Collette.
Oh, I
Is that
have no
him?
idea.
It's weird. Like the
Yeah.
movie itself is not scary. It's like it's a mental. It's a
Yeah,
it's a
like
mental.
it's a slow burn. Like there's some sort of mystery and
Yeah.
weird things start to
it
happen.
mentally messes you up.
Yeah,
You're like,
it's like
maybe I shouldn't watch that then.
Seriously, why don't you watch this great movie
It
that's
will-
going to mess you up for the
it will
rest
mess
of your
you
life?
up. Like at weeks, I would like be sitting doing nothing else, and I'd be like, oh, like it would just come back to me like,
Really?
no.
I think that's I'm not a big fan of like movies that do the quiet bang. Quiet
Yeah,
bang. Like, It's just
yeah.
like it's so predictable.
Yep.
I much prefer things that like are slow and spooky and like just make you feel something a little bit. Like I like
Yeah.
vibe movies, you know,
Yeah,
like where it's like, ooh, what's
Yeah.
going on, you know?
I do like the mystery. Like,
Yeah. Have you
I wanna
seen
know.
Have you seen The Witch? I love that one.
like that
Have you,
one, too.
Maggie? No?
oh my god,
You would probably really like that one.
that's a good one.
It's set in like the 1600s. It's like a pioneer family who's like they're like excommunicated from their town and they have to live in the woods. But then like also there's a witch that lives in the woods. It's really really good.
Yeah,
I have to watch
Creepy.
some movies this weekend.
yeah. You have some
Got some
things
homework.
to
You got some
do.
homework to do.
Some things. There's one movie I want to see that I keep seeing really good things about. Black Phone. I think it's Ethan Hawke. I could be making that up. But I think it's a certain brand of movie. Like I think they did like Get Out, Sinister, Glass Split, like that.
Yeah.
So it's ranked pretty high up there, but what's on my list? I think that's gonna be this weekend.
I just recently watched Talk to Me. Have you heard of that one?
I don't think so.
It was creepy. It was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
It was good. There was one like part where it was just very weird.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was really good. But that one part, and I don't want to say it because
Yeah.
if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But other than that, it was pretty good.
Talk to me. What's that on?
So I had to rent that. It's still
Okay.
in the movie theaters.
Oh,
It's only $5.99 to rent.
Oh, that's not bad.
But I
at
had
all.
heard so many good things about it, and it was pretty good.
I'll have to watch it.
Does anybody specifically like old movies? No? I guess I'm alone.
We're
I know
like-
Dylan and I argue about this all the time, but I love like 80s horror movies. Especially like the super cornball, like ridiculous ones.
Yep.
Like my wife, I forget the name of it, but my wife and I just watched one 2 weeks ago that was about a lawnmower on a golf course that came to life.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And I don't mind spoiling it because
It's
Because
fine.
no one's gonna watch
I don't
it.
even remember the
Spoiler
title.
alert.
But like the climax was like this like pro golfer was the protagonist. And so like he defeated it by golfing really well and like getting a golf ball stuck in its exhaust port. Like the penultimate scene is it's like charging for him and he like tees off and gets it right in the port and the thing it was deliciously awful.
That one of Tom's favorite movies is Christine.
Oh yeah, that's John
car-
Carpenter.
yes,
yeah,
the
it's about the
car-
car
yep.
that comes to life.
That and The Thing.
Based off a Stephen King novel. Oh, The Thing is fantastic.
Those are his two favorite scary.
Oh, so he's a Carpenter fan too.
He
I'll have to talk
is.
to him next
Yeah,
time.
I only watched them both for the first time last year around this time.
Oh, really?
Yep, I had never seen The Thing or Christine. I like The Thing better than Christine, but
Yeah, no, The Thing is like his magnum opus, and Christine is like his dark horse thing.
yeah.
I think his worst movie is probably Escape from L.A., but
I don't think I've seen
Christine's
that one.
that one's really bad.
Mm.
You've seen the memes from it though. Like, you ever seen Kurt Russell with an eye patch and a tank top in a
Yes.
meme? Yeah, that's what that's from.
Oh,
Escape from New York and Escape from L.A.
Okay,
Both
okay.
done. Not to nerd out on you guys, but Escape from New York's really good.
Yeah.
That's like a classic like horror sci-fi thing starring
Ooh.
Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Escape from L.A. is a very bad 90s sequel to it.
Was Kurt Russell also in The Thing?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, him and John Carpenter work together a
okay.
lot. His whole catalog is great. I mean, obviously Halloween is
Yeah.
like
Yep.
the OG.
I do love Halloween.
But then The Fog is really good, which came out right after that.
oh, I'm thinking.
And then The
of
Thing
Mist.
came out after that. And then he also has Prince of Darkness and In the Mouth of Madness are really good.
Mm.
His whole catalog is really good.
Maybe it's gonna be a John Carpenter weekend.
Oh, all his stuff is perfect. Like, it's
Yeah.
I think he might be my favorite of the horror directors. Like, him and Wes Craven are like,
Yeah, I'm a big fan right now of Mike Flanagan.
I don't know who that is.
He's somewhat newer. He's the one that's doing all the Netflix scary stuff, like Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor. What just came out? Fall of Usher just came out. He also did a Stephen King movie, which I have not yet seen. It's on my to-do list. It's the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, Dr. Sleep?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So that's Mike Flanagan.
With Ewan McGregor, right? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I like his stuff. I really like I can never remember the name because there is like a Haunting of Hill House and the Haunting on Hill House or Haunting whatever. The show in itself is really great.
I have a unrelated but slightly funny story. The Fall of the House of Usher just came out.
Yeah.
And one of my wife's coworkers told her about it, but she misunderstood and thought it was like a biopic about Usher,
Oh yes,
the R&B singer.
and it was like, wow, that's really dark because has he fallen yet?
He got real caught up.
So let's do a this or that, like Halloween edition.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So would you rather eat a bowl full of eyeballs or a bowl full of worms?
Worms.
Are they candy eyeballs or are they real eyeballs?
No, they're real.
Human eyeballs?
Worms.
I think worms because it would be easier to ethically source worms than eyeballs.
But here's
I feel
the
like
catch.
the implication is like, where did you get these eyeballs?
Yeah, where are these from?
But the worms move like they're alive.
I mean, still worms.
Still worms.
I
Okay.
think I still go with worms over.
I think they're equally gross. It's just I wouldn't have to feel like morally bankrupt for eating some worms.
Morally
I feel like you could
bankrupt.
slurp down a worm, whereas you'd have to pop an eyeball, like pop that.
That's true.
You would.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like people do eat worms.
They do.
Like I knew children when I was a kid who totally would just eat worms. Like
yeah.
and nothing happened to them. Whereas I imagine like
They're
don't know,
probably a
what-
delicacy somewhere.
what if the eye had pink eye? Like
Ugh.
Do you think if you ate an eyeball, you'd get that person's vision? Like see their memories?
Oh,
No.
like their
No.
DNA. Like their DNA.
All right.
I kind of do.
Like, I mean, do we know that we can't? Because
Do you want to try?
there should be some science on that.
all right, who's gonna be our donor?
Like, seriously.
We need to try it out.
What about you, Kristen? Would it be eyeballs or worms?
It would be worms.
Yeah.
You make one up now.
Oh my, I wasn't prepared.
Well, get prepared.
Um,
You can do it on the fly.
would you rather be covered in spiders or mice?
Mice, definitely, because mice
a
won't
horrible
potentially be
question.
venomous.
Oh.
I'd say mice too. Anything over a
Mice
spider.
are kind of cute, except for the fact that they poo everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I think mice.
Yeah, mice.
I think I tried to befriend them. I'd be like, all right.
Befriend the
Like
mice.
let's keep this.
you're just queen
chill.
of the mice.
Yeah, like let's everybody calm
They
down.
do your bidding.
Everybody gather.
Like
Let's
just gather
here,
around
have some
me.
candy.
Yeah, like I'm not num-nums. I'm not a snack. So just I'm not a snack, but I feel like they would eat you in
I'm
desperate
not a
times. They would
snack.
definitely start eating you. I mean, I guess it would have to be quick.
Keith.
What, mice or spiders?
No, you have to.
Oh, I have to
make
make
up
one
a
up.
question now. Aggie, you should be thinking about this too.
Oh, I have one.
Oh,
I'm
all
ready.
Okay, you go first,
You
then
wanna
I'll
go
think.
first?
Okay. Would you rather spend the night in a cemetery or a haunted house?
Haunted house.
Cemetery.
Like a actual
Like
haunted,
an actual, not-
Okay, not like an attraction.
No.
Yes,
not
like
an
an
actor
actual
one,
yes,
yeah.
haunted house. 1,000 times, yes.
I don't know.
And both have no power. There's a twist to it.
What time of the year? I'm gonna give you a really boring answer, but
So probably this time of the year, around spooky season.
okay, I was cemetery because I like the outside weather at this point. If it was the winter, I'd say the house because it would be warmer.
We're similar in that. I have the same answer exactly.
Yeah, the amount of spookiness would be like,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be like perturbed by either.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I want to be perturbed.
What about you?
I'd pick a haunted house.
Haunted house.
I would want the haunts.
Me too. Like, I want
yeah.
that. I want that.
So you guys don't like haunted houses as attractions,
Correct.
but you like them as in like you'd be okay being scared in a house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost wise. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want someone coming after me with a knife or.
Like pretending.
Yeah. But then if there's like an actual, like, this just wants to move a couple inches,
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So let's ask Maggie the alien and ghost questions from the last time.
I actually have a specific question.
Oh, okay.
That might spark
Perfect.
this. Has anyone ever done any urban exploration or like abandoned building exploration or like haunted house exploration before? Any of you guys?
No, but do you want to?
I have.
You have?
Yeah. You guys haven't? No one?
No.
Really?
No.
I'm surprised. I
I
figured
know.
you guys, especially Maggie and Danielle.
I would
figured-
want to.
I
for
want
sure,
to.
but I just haven't.
I know. I always say, like, especially I know there's places around here that do it. Like,
We can organize a field trip because there's actually an abandoned prison in Rutland. That I've
There's
been
an
meaning to
abandoned
explore.
prison in
I've
right in
heard of
Gardner too, right
that.
down the road from me.
Yeah, that would be
Like,
fun.
yeah.
yes.
I'll go.
Really?
I've never.
I've explored several abandoned buildings.
So
before.
tell.
Did you see
Uh,
anything?
The two that stick out is when I was in college, there was an abandoned industrial building in the middle of downtown in Albany. And we would go in it all the time. And it was creepy. So it was abandoned because there was a major fire that destroyed like the whole top half of the building.
Ooh.
And so we would get up on the roof and it was like it was really cool. It was very spooky in there. And there were two whole floors that were like burned out. Like the walls were just charcoal. It was like a cement structure. So it wasn't that bad, but everything was scorched inside, which is really fascinating. And that used to be where cargo trains, there was like a lifted railroad and cargo trains would drive right into the building. And
Oh
that
my
was where the
goodness.
fire started. But that was interesting. But the even more interesting one was where I grew up. I grew up in Ludlow, Massachusetts. There's a town right next door called Belchertown, and it's now been I think it's now been demolished and repurposed. But there's something called the Belchertown State Schools, which were an old. It was like a sanitarium complex back in the day when, of course, those were like all very problematic.
Yes. Very harsh.
And so we would go in. We went like on 3 different occasions, but we would go in and explore the different buildings and stuff. And they had like there were padded rooms. There were like the strap-in
my word.
chairs where people were like
Ooh.
restrained,
Yeah.
and then there was allegedly they used to do electroshock therapy
Yep.
and lobotomies and stuff
Oh my
there.
God.
And like the walls were covered in spooky graffiti. I think that was people breaking in and doing
Most
it.
likely.
I don't think that's really from the actual era. But yeah, that was.
Did you
so
see
much-
anything actually like that you were like, that's questionable if that was anything spooky?
No. But I'm very skeptical by nature.
Yep.
So I'm sure if you had went, you would have like 7. You'd be
I
like,
would
there
have
were
a whole
7
story.
different things.
Yes, I would have a story. I would
No.
love to go to one of those places but like with ghost hunting equipment.
Yes.
Like I want to bring the spirit
Spectrographs
box. I want to
yeah.
bring the spirit
Mhm.
box.
I We heard lots of weird noises, but my assumption would be that the buildings are infested with rodents.
Probably.
And so like it's almost definitely just rodents in the ductwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, We found actually one of the creepiest things. Again, this was probably planted, but there was one building was clearly like thrashed. Like somebody had gone in and like it's probably vandals way
Yeah.
after the fact. But like you walk in, the first thing you see is there's a teddy bear with its like just ripped open, like on the floor.
See, I would have been like ghost.
You were like, "Yep, that was left from a child."
That's a
and-
child ghost, 100%.
But,
My
yeah,
goodness.
I wanna go and I wanna bring ghost hunting. You watch the ghost hunting shows, right?
I do all of them.
What's your favorite one?
I used to like Ghost Adventures a lot, but then Zach started really getting on my nerves.
He's crazy.
Yeah, so I like the new Ghost Hunters. Like it's Grant again, and he's kind of like helping like new people.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that one.
I have. Yep.
Yeah, I like that one. So far, that's like the go-to one. What about you?
I'm a big fan of Kindred Spirits. It's like Adam and Amy. I think they're actually from Massachusetts, but they don't just do
Yeah.
Massachusetts. They tend to be like the most calm. Like Zach, like, anytime you watch it, you're like, anytime they hear any noise, it's immediate, like, beep, 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 because they're just
Yeah.
swearing the whole time and you can't hear anything. And you're like, and he's always angered.
Yeah, and it's
Somehow
always Aaron, go in here by yourself.
Yeah, and he's always like, what do I do, man?
Yeah.
I'm a demonologist. And it's like, I like it all.
Cool.
I will happily continue to pay $8.99 for Discovery Plus.
You pay $8.99. I pay $6.99.
I get no commercials.
Oh.
No commercials when there's ghosts. No. I can't have
No,
a break.
no,
I
no.
need continuous live coverage. That's like my calm time. Like when I'm like going to bed at 7:30 at night. I have my heating pad and my incense going, and I'm like, and ghost hunter. Let's go.
I saw that one of the Chamber of Commerce's around here, actually last night I think had like a chamber event where like they learned all like that stuff. Like they got to use the stuff. It wasn't our
What?
chamber. No, it wasn't ours.
Oh,
Like if it was, we would have signed up.
that's what I want.
But
Like,
yeah.
You mean like ghost hunting equipment?
Yeah.
Like EKGs and spectrographs.
Yeah, there was like a whole
spirit
table with the
box.
stuff. Yeah.
You
And-
can use your phone for a spirit box too.
I've heard there was like an app.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
Me neither.
But I've heard that you
Should
can.
we try it now? Are there ghosts in here?
I don't think.
Remember
don't
we
think
heard
there's
something in the
anything here.
wall?
It was the cleaner.
Oh.
Likely explanation: either it's an echo because this is a huge echoey mill building, or as we discovered yesterday, we probably have mice.
We need to try to find though like a medium or something that will come on the show.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you know any mediums?
I know a psychic.
Mhm.
I think I might know I don't remember if who I'm thinking of is a medium or not.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a medium and a psychic?
Medium can talk to like the dead.
Yeah. and
Psychic.
They're more so like
Predicts the
tarot
future.
cards, and
Yeah.
it's like you read the cards and you kind of just do your vibe off of them.
Do you believe in that? We talked about that on another episode.
I believe in mediums.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I thought I believed in psychics, but then it's just I don't know. I guess maybe if one could really predict the future and really convince me,
Yep.
maybe, but I don't know.
I'm definitely more medium over psychic.
Yeah.
Again, whether or not it's true, who knows? I find them interesting. We should definitely find one to get on the show.
Yeah. If anybody knows of any, let us know.
Please. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
I wear a medium. Does that help?
That does help.
It does not.
That does help. I'm going to have a piece of candy. Anyone?
No, for once.
It's
I
time
actually
for an
don't.
ASMR candy break.
There's no, see, it's all almond joys. Trash candy.
Trash.
Oops, I'm sorry.
These are like weird mini size.
Is anyone
Yeah,
going
they're
to
not
crunch a
big
Kit Kat?
apart.
Because I think that would make great audio.
Crunch.
This isn't a
Oh, that's a
Kit Kat.
Hershey's. They're trying
Oh.
to make a. Is there a Kit Kat in there? Will
I'll do
someone
it.
throw one to me? All right, everyone quiet.
I think it's not
Wait, unwrap it directly in front of the mic, please.
Please. Like, open your mouth.
I didn't want to be rude.
It's an ASMR.
I can't open my mouth and chew at the same time.
I'll do it.
Oh, no. That's uncomfortable.
Danielle, you can't laugh while we're recording ASMR.
Right on the set.
Harder. Harder than you think it is, isn't it? You had to do it.
I just found that so intriguing too. Just like staring.
We might have to cut that part out.
Kristen, you're gonna have to skip over that when you listen back, because I promise you that's gonna be the most revolting thing you've ever heard. It probably worked great because you ate it like a rabbit. You're like, no.
You know what though?
That'll probably sound interesting.
Because I definitely do have that mouth noise problem. We know that.
Yeah.
Danielle, poor
I'm sorry,
Danielle.
I do have carrots today. I do apologize. I'll
For
go
the
sit in my
viewers'
car.
context, Kristen regularly leaves the room when Danielle begins to have lunch.
or anyone has any food.
It's me because I do carrots and
But I did literally, like, this is a big problem in my life. Like, I hate mouth noises. I really do. I can't stand it. Like, I literally can't go to the movies because I can't stand popcorn. I'm just weird like that. But someone told me once, if you keep listening to it, you can teach your brain to, like, not pay attention to it. It has never worked for me. So if I listen to that over and over and over again, it's kind of like walking through snow. Like, eventually you'll make a path and you're like in your brain. And
maybe
you're
like do it on a track and just listen to it while you sleep.
I think I'll die. I'll have a nervous breakdown. Like, I cannot handle
I
it.
don't think we want that. We don't want.
Nobody wants that.
No, we don't
No.
want death.
You should go get your carrots and eat them on here.
I don't think anybody would enjoy that.
There's probably some weirdo out there.
There's a market for everything. I don't
Maybe we'll get a sponsor.
carrots.
the carrot company.
Oh.
Please hold while we attend to business
Did it
matters.
bring him to the right?
It's time for a shameless plug.
We'll be back to veering way off topic in just a moment, but first, a shameless plug for us here at Next Level Studios. All of this production, this podcast is possible because of this awesome space we have here in Fitchburg. We are completely multimedia capable, from portrait and product photography to live streaming, podcasting, commercial videography, and social media marketing. We can really do it all. We can be your one-stop shop. So please, next time you need to level up some marketing or you really need to get back on socials in a big way, think of us and maybe give us a call. Anyways, back to the nonsense. Well, we got the Am I in the Wrong?
Oh yeah. Why don't we do
We
that?
can do
Let's
that.
Yeah.
I pulled a couple Halloween ones. They're not as juicy as last time because the Halloween thing was made it a little slimmer pickings, but all right. We probably need an intro for this segment.
Yeah.
I guess I'll make another jingle.
You're like, oh no.
no.
I have to do another jingle.
Jingle.
Wah.
Jingle all the way. All right. Well, I got a good one. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Am I in the wrong for getting annoyed with parents who drive their kids to affluent neighborhoods on Halloween? Here's the story. Within the past year, my girlfriend moved in with me into my home in a very affluent neighborhood. For the past few years, the neighbors and I have seen a growing amount of people come to our neighborhood on Halloween. This has caused a lot of people to turn off for Halloween, which you would think would get the crowd to lessen, but it keeps growing year after year. I was openly annoyed with this leading up to Halloween, and my girlfriend would condemn it every time I brought it up because Halloween is about sharing, and she said it shouldn't matter what neighborhood the kids are from. She'd also point out that many of these children probably live in bad neighborhoods where it's not possible to trick or treat. Not surprisingly, this year, at both entrances to the neighborhood, there were all sorts of cars on the streets, some of them with out-of-state plates. Context, I live in a suburb with a city which is just over the state line. Am I in the wrong for being annoyed with these parents that they don't live in?
Yeah. I think he's being a doofus.
Is that your first choice of word?
Yeah. No. He sounds like a grump. He sounds like he's no fun. I mean, I get it, I guess, but it's one day a year. And if you run out of candy, you run out of candy.
Right.
Get your normal amount that you would get. Enjoy the 2 hours that people are pretty much allowed to trick or treat for nowadays. And just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We in Westminster, it ended up being a lot of people would do that and they would go to the center of town.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ended up just embracing it. And everybody goes to the center of town. The cops turn off the roads.
Yeah, okay.
block
They'll
off the roads.
click.
They block off the roads, and actually now, like through the years, they were like, yeah, drop off some candy at the police station, and we'll just give it to all the residents up there because there's thousands of kids. And now I just saw online that they're actually doing like an Amazon wish list, so you can just go online and like donate the candy, and it's great.
Yep.
It's great. So yeah, I think he's totally being a grump.
What do you think?
I think you should be able to trick or treat wherever you want.
Right.
Like I said, it's like you said, it's one night a
Yeah.
year, and as long as there's no trouble, like actual trouble being
Right.
caused,
No youths
Yeah.
causing chaos,
yeah,
You're
it's not a
just
big deal.
kids trick or treating. I mean, I remember, like I said, like where I lived on the dead end, a lot of people would drive to that area because trick or treating on a dead end is optimal.
Yeah.
And, they'd stop at a certain point and make sure they park their cars or whatever, but they definitely didn't live there, and that was fine. We go different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just like, I mean, maybe you live in a neighborhood where it's not safe to trick or treat.
Exactly.
Or maybe you just live on like a busy main road
Right.
and you
Yeah.
can't trick or treat.
Yeah.
Trick or treat on a
Or
main road,
maybe you
have to
live
go
far enough out that there's no houses to trick or treat at. Like,
Right.
Right.
like, yeah.
Or like you want to go with like friends and you kind of meet in the middle somewhere.
Right. Right. That's what it ended up being, in the center of Westminster. It's like a big
Mhm.
bonfire, and
Yeah, that's
like
awesome. That's really fun.
It really is fun. And like even like parents and everybody dresses up, and it's just a good old like family fun.
Right.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with the parents that like go to every single town, like because
that's
some of them
ridiculous.
vary, like on different nights throughout the Halloween weekend or
That's true.
Halloween week. And I don't think I necessarily agree with that, but if you're going to go to one destination,
Yep.
or I don't necessarily agree with people driving their kids from like
House to
house
house.
Like
Absolutely
get out
not.
of your car
That-
and like
no.
have a nice walk with your family.
Even
like,
if it's raining, like my mom did that once because it was raining, and she would drive to like every like 4 houses or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, I can walk. It's fine. She's
Right.
like, get in the car, and you have to get in, get out. So,
yeah, that takes the fun out of it.
but now they cancel or they reschedule trick or treating if
Yeah.
it's going to rain. Which back in my day, it was
Rain or
on
shine,
the 30
baby.
exactly. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
So verdict
He's a loser.
Yeah, in the wrong.
in the wrong.
Tool.
I need to make like a
We need, like,
jingle
a
for good and a
buzzer.
jingle for bad, where it's like,
We should have like flags.
Yeah.
all right. Number 2. Am I in the wrong for wanting to cancel going to the neighbor's annual Halloween party because my boyfriend refuses to wear a costume? Did you just roll your eyes, Danielle?
Loser.
Give the guy a chance.
What's his
Let's
excuse?
hear him out.
So our neighbors throw this incredible Halloween party every year. Dry ice, laser lights, awesome music, haunted house tour, cool adult beverages, photo booth, ice slides, pro actors, tarot and palm readings. They go all out, and it's amazing. Neighbors are very specific that it is invite only, and you must wear a costume. My boyfriend never wears one, and I always do. Once I got him to let me at least pour some blood tears under his eyes, but he washed them off later after we got there. I feel stupid wearing this elaborate costume I've been thinking about or working on for weeks, and he's wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. Forget a couple's costume. That will definitely never happen. He won't even do a simple last-minute joke costume like Chick Magnet and putting a felt baby chick on his shoulder, or Salt Bay, just grabbing a salt shaker and some dark circular glasses. I asked if he'd just put a toboggan and flannel shirt on this year and say that he's Jacques Cousteau, but no way. Every time he shows up not wearing anything, our neighbors ask why he didn't dress up, and I can tell they are not pleased about it. I begged again this year. It's a no once more. So now I don't even want to go. He says I'm being silly. They go through all this trouble to throw the neighborhood this beautiful, huge, unique, super fun party, and he can't make even a minimal effort to comply with the common costume. It burns me up and embarrasses me. Am I in the wrong?
I would just rather go alone if that was the case. I would make him stay home 'cause it sounds like he doesn't really want to participate or be there anyways. So why go?
Yeah. And that's like, it's a common courtesy to the neighbor. Like if they're like
Yeah.
spending all this money and like doing all this stuff, like the least you can do is like put on a little costume.
Minimal effort.
I'm surprised the neighbor keeps inviting them, knowing that year
Exactly.
after year that he's just
And if it's important to her, like you would think you would just do it.
Just
and
something.
like, yeah,
something
there's
basic. I mean, you could do anything. It's not difficult. And I mean, I understand not everybody likes dressing up, but then again, like, then why do you want to go to the party?
You
Just
can't
stay
have
home.
your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, and be like a grumpy poo poo and sit at home and
Yeah, like if it's
I'll go
gonna
to the
make her
party.
happy and like cause not a fight to happen, you would think he would just do it.
Yeah.
Like sacrifice a little bit.
like I would not personally cancel. Like I would not say we're not going because I would still go. Like I would go. I'd be like you're not going.
Yeah,
go-
it
I'm
says on the
going alone.
invitation you got to wear one.
Yeah, no costume, you can't come. I'll go enjoy myself.
Yeah, he's in the wrong.
He's in the wrong. Yeah,
He's in the wrong.
I totally understand where she's coming from. Like that's
Yeah, I agree.
a Halloween party.
Have a little fun.
Yeah, of course.
Engineer Dylan here interjecting. Well, within the context of the story that we were just provided, the guy is definitely wrong. I agree with that.
Mhm.
But thinking at it is like, there's probably a lot more context to it that we don't know. And he probably has a reason for setting that boundary. And it seems like he's upfront and transparent,
True.
saying, hey, I'm not doing it. You know,
True.
and it's not a surprise every year. It's like this. Granted, for a healthy relationship, he should just do the sacrifice because it's one day a year, a couple hours, whatever.
Mhm.
But there's probably more to the story.
You do make a good point though about setting a boundary.
Right.
He's not hiding
not a surprise. It seems like it's been a problem at least twice.
At least.
Yeah, we need to know why.
Right. So
You're
like
right.
maybe he died on Halloween and got resurrected. You know, you don't know what's going on here.
You know what? Maybe both of his parents were murdered on Halloween.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't
we
know.
don't know.
So I agree that he's wrong.
He's wrong, but you do make a good point
You
that
do
he
make a
is
point. You're sticking up for the dudes.
openly setting boundaries.
But then, like, why go?
That's
Like,
my
why would
bigger
you
thing,
even
then just
go
don't
then?
go.
If I were him and I had set the boundary, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, right.
I think that's pretty.
Like if I don't want to
straightforward.
dress up, I'm like,
Yeah,
you
maybe
think
that's
that you
the real
wouldn't want to
problem.
go, right? Like I like to dress up.
You do?
Shock, I know, but like any excuse to come up with like an outfit,
Yeah.
something fun to do, I'm on it, no matter the time of year. But I know not everybody is like that. I can understand that and appreciate that. So do you think that people that don't like to dress up then also just don't like Halloween and don't want to go? Or do they want to go and see everybody else dressed up, but they don't want to be dressed up? You know?
in my personal life with
Mm.
like me and my girlfriend. Hopefully she does. I don't know if she'll listen to this, but
She better- she better-
She
I
will.
don't really have any desires to really dress up at this
Right.
point in my life, mainly because it almost always costs money, and it's like,
Okay.
you know, why? However, we're doing like matching. We're going as Rick and Morty this year for one of the things.
That's
and
pretty
then,
awesome.
we're going as like a zombie bloody like prom king queen, I think.
Mhm.
So like I participate, but
Yeah.
if it was my choice,
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't do anything. And she's went like all out in like decorating the house and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
part of me wants to like go all in and just start buying decorations, but it's like $200 for a good one. And
I getcha.
so at least for me, it's like, I don't know. There's always two sides to it.
Yep. Now, if somebody was throwing like a crazy costume party,
Oh,
and you didn't want to get dressed up, do you still like to go to the party?
that's actually, I forgot about that. That was the reason I brought this up. If there's something that like it's like scheduled ahead of time and it's like, okay, if granted, these people were also very communicative in
Mhm.
saying like, hey, costumes only.
Mhm.
I would show up in a costume because that's just like respectful.
Respectful.
To the
Right.
party owner.
Right.
Mhm.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't.
Yep. But you'd still
And
want to go to the
I
party?
still want to go because it's like I'm still having a good time with probably people they know and
Yep.
enjoy, and with their significant other. And it's it's not going to happen again until next year. So
Mhm.
I would want to be involved.
Yep. But you could do
Yeah.
without the costume, just fine.
Yeah. But I also would just respect the people and just
Right.
participate anyways, because respect.
Right. And I don't think she should just not like cancel it, even if she doesn't want to go alone with it. That's on him. Like if he shows up without a costume, like that's on him. That shouldn't embarrass her
Yeah.
in a way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah, it
just
should have
he's doing
no-
his thing. Like you can't control that. Go and have fun and whatever. Just, he can do whatever at that point. But boring. He's boring.
He's a little boring.
He's boring.
Sounds like our verdict is complicated on this one. Not as clear cut.
Yeah, I mean, but Dylan made some good points.
Maybe
With that.
maybe they could meet halfway.
Mhm.
Maybe he could do like an anti costume, like I'm
This
a
is
plumber.
my Halloween
I'm a plumber,
shirt.
and he just tucks his T-shirt in or something like
something.
yeah, or like writes a word on it like
Mhm.
yeah. I feel like maybe he could do some like it's not a costume, but like you have some like excuse why it is a costume,
Right.
And
Like,
then
wear a hat.
and
You
then she
never
could be
wear
like,
hats.
okay, fine,
Yeah.
Yeah, wear your pajamas. Say you're
Yeah.
a baby.
Oh yeah. There you go. Just
Yeah.
pajama day. Just wear your pajamas.
or be a narwhal.
There you go. Exactly.
Although my camera's dead, so no one can see me
So
anymore.
no one can see
Oh,
it.
die.
I'll cut to a clip from earlier. Or something.
There you go. Okay.
You guys want to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's a little spicier.
Ooh.
Am I in the wrong for asking my girlfriend not to wear the Halloween costume she picked?
Oh boy.
My girlfriend and I are both 21 years old. I don't know why, but she's already started planning Halloween parties and costumes with her friends. She wants to go to a few parties and clubs that night, and she wants to go together. She also wants to wear a very revealing Princess Jasmine costume. Jasmine already wears pretty revealing clothes in the movie, but my girlfriend wants to just wear a blue bra and a loose pair of pants that are very transparent. I'm a big fan of Aladdin and played Aladdin in a school play, so I was very happy with her initial idea and was touched thinking she was doing it for me. After seeing the costume, I am very much not comfortable with it. Am I in the wrong for asking her not to wear this costume?
That is a tough one to me, actually. Oh.
These ones are a little more nuanced than last time. Last time was like, that
it was
dude's
an
a
immediate-
psychopath.
Yeah, it was. We all agreed.
And this time it's like, that's tough.
Like, I'm all for like, it's your body, do what you want, wear what makes you comfortable. If you're comfortable in that kind of get up, like, embrace it, enjoy it. But on the other hand, I also believe in boundaries. And if your significant others, I think it's not outlandish to be like, just don't wear a bra tonight. It's not crazy. So to ask that, like to set that boundary, like I'd like you to cover up a little bit more, isn't completely out of whack, I don't think. But then again, it's her body.
I don't think he's in the wrong for asking. But at the same time, I do think she should be able to wear what she wants when she wants, and they should have enough trust in their relationship to hopefully get by that. But she should also want to respect him a little bit to make
what I
him
was gonna say,
happy,
too.
and they should find like a happy medium maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she could put something on underneath the revealing pants
Right.
and still wear the costume. I don't know. I feel like there's something somewhere they could meet in the middle
Mm-hmm.
because she should be able to wear what she wants, but he
Right. Like he
also-
has
he's-
a point.
He should be able to ask at the least.
Right.
She
Like
doesn't
if-
have to listen.
If he's saying that makes me uncomfortable or whatever, like his feelings are valid.
Yeah, I think she definitely should take that into consideration.
Right.
And to me, it kind of sounds like if you're going to wear an outfit like that, you're looking for attention from other people. Like, I mean,
I guess if you think about it, it's not a whole lot different than wearing like a bathing suit at the beach.
No.
But
I mean, I know when I'm wearing my transparent pants, I am looking for attention. so.
usually I'm like, hello. um,
I mean, I guess it would have to, I don't know. Now I'm thinking like Dylan, I'm like, well, there's got to be a reason why she wants to wear that.
I feel like, I don't think it's super uncommon for people of a certain age to dress a little bit more.
No, I mean, if you look
risque.
at like, the college crowd these days.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially these days, it's like, oh, I got to do it for the gram. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I might get more followers if, this.
oh
goes-
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Like
it's
when I
totally
was looking for
normal.
costumes, like I went to like Spirit Halloween and,
Oh, God,
you know,
no.
and I was like,
You're like, that's my butt cheeks. Like what?
there's
Like,
no way.
how
Like,
can I ever wear that? No, I actually
yeah,
can't.
it's like the fewer like clothes, the better it seemed for a lot of the costumes.
Yeah.
So I get it. And it's, I guess it would depend on if she did that like all the time or if it was just like this one time a year. Like, I don't know. That's a
That's a
a
really
hard
tough
one.
one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, she can do whatever she wants, but he can also feel however he wants about
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
yeah.
Yeah.
so, yeah, like she's free to do whatever she wants. He's also free to react however he wants.
Was he
So
going
it's like-
with her to these events?
It said so, yeah.
Okay. That's
I mean, I try to think of myself like I wouldn't. It's hard to think of yourself because I wouldn't do that. I don't think you would, and I don't think your wife would. Like, I don't think.
I usually
you would.
No, the costume I'm wearing right now belongs to my wife. Like, that's not her style.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So I think
No,
it's
if
hard
anything,
for
she
us
has to tell me to cover up.
Yeah, I would assume.
That's
just like,
totally
please
false.
put pants on, you know? Please.
Yeah. That's
It's
a
a
tough
bit
one.
tough.
It's like a textbook. They need to come to some sort of compromise situation, probably.
But like Halloween is supposed to be like you dress up like something you're not, like, I guess.
Right. And like, I know a lot of it's fun to want to feel sexy on Halloween. Like you get that.
I mean, I do right now.
Like, I feel sexy as hell. But you know, and you can have fun with it, and you can definitely do what you want to do, but also you don't want to make your significant other uncomfortable.
How old are they again?
Let me check. I want to say it
21?
said 21.
Oh, yeah, they're youths.
21. Yeah, they're
They're
little.
babies.
They're
21.
babies.
That's babies. Yeah.
Like if anyone ever told me like or asked me not to wear something when I was 21, I would wear it just
I'd
to
wear
upset
less.
them.
I'd wear less.
I feel like it's a maturity thing too.
I'd wear less. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that is the college age.
Yeah.
Like that's
That's
like you're still finding out who you are, and
Yeah.
It's also a time when people are relatively unattached too.
Mm-hmm.
So like that very well could just be like, don't wear that. And she's like, well, forget you. I'm doing
Yeah,
it
I'm
anyway.
definitely-
That's
I'm
the end of
definitely
that,
gonna wear it.
Instead of the bra, I'm going with tassels instead, you know? Like,
Right.
absolutely not.
Right.
Like they're both young enough that could easily just be the end of that whole thing. you
Yep.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't tell me what to do. All right, then. Well, goodbye. you know?
Goodbye.
yeah,
So I guess it's it's just a thing of like, are you you can do what you want, but are you prepared to accept what the consequences might be?
I think that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you have the choice, but you don't have the choice of the consequences of the choice.
Yep.
If that makes any
No, it-
sense.
You can do what you
Like-
want, but the other person might also take
Do
that
what they
as-
want.
Yeah,
In both
yeah, do what they
directions.
want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're in the middle on that one,
Yeah.
I would say.
I think that's probably one where it's like there is no objective right or wrong in this. It's
Yeah.
all just a matter of people's feelings and emotions and
Yeah,
whether they're willing to come to an agreement or not.
Yeah. Agreed.
absolutely.
These ones were less last time it was like, oh my God, what a lunatic.
Oh
And
my
this time it's
God.
like, well, they really need to sit down and talk it out.
Where do these stories come from? Are they just like
Reddit? Is that where you're getting them?
That's where I'm pulling them mostly.
Oh, okay. I
But
was like, did
sometimes
people
I
write
end up
into
linking
you?
somewhere else. or
No,
whatever.
no.
Yes, we have.
I mean, people are allowed to write into us if they would like.
That's the hope, is that eventually someone's like,
Yes, we would be happy.
Actually,
to
that's a good idea.
get
We
the
should-
landline and people can call right in.
yeah,
and-
therapy session.
Yeah, for sure.
Do what
Please
you
send things to our PO box. Just kidding.
PO Box 666.
We're accepting gifts. We're accepting sponsors.
Celsius. Keep yourself energized.
Puller Springs, Apple, iPhone 15. I would love.
Is that what you have? Oh,
No.
I was like, wow. That was
No.
This show brought to you by Shure microphones and Sony cameras,
And Sony cameras.
Sigma lenses.
And cobwebs.
Want to do one last segment before we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Let's all go. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
like spooky scary?
Up to you how you interpret
Okay.
scary.
Oh.
But like legitimately, like you were legitimately scared. Doesn't necessarily have to be spooky, although bonus points if it is.
I have a good one.
Okay.
When I was little, I want to say I was maybe like 9 or 10. And I was moving in with my aunt at the time. And we were back in my old house in Lawrence. We were getting ready to leave. And she had to go to the bathroom. And I never really experienced anything weird in this house at all. But when she was in the bathroom, so we had like an island come out here. It's hard to see. And then like a window here. The window was kind of level with the ground outside though.
Okay.
So you can't really, and the shade was pulled down. So you can't really see anything except for people's feet out there. And when she was in the bathroom, I was standing at the island. I looked up at the window and there was like a silhouette of like an older woman just like standing there, like all poised and everything. Full silhouette, which is impossible for that type of window. So I started panicking and I like freaked out. I made her get out of the bathroom, but I could never explain how that happened.
Oh my word.
It was physically impossible to have that much of a person there. You would have to have seen it, but it was hard. It was rough. Yeah.
Like for you to have that core memory still, like this many years later, like that must have been really scary.
It was scary. It was pretty bad.
That's kind of awesome at the same time.
Yeah. So like now I see like all those like silhouettes of like olden people, and it's like I can picture her hair like braided back and everything. Yeah.
Like, you have that much detail?
Yeah. It's like I remember that day. I'll never forget it.
Wow. How old were you again?
I was like 9 or 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like terrifying for you, especially as a child.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No one believed me either.
I-
I'm like, no, Maggie, you're hearing things. I mean, you're seeing things.
So what's the one thing I never get in scary movies, especially if they're like based on true stories or whatever? It's always like, say the wife is seeing things and she's like telling her husband, and he never believes her.
Mhm.
And it's like, I'm sorry, if I was with my partner and they all of a sudden were like, I'm seeing this, and I would be like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe you.
Yeah, like you trust them.
Why is it always a question? Like, okay, yes, you're seeing this dead person all the time. I believe you. What do we do?
Right.
Not just like, you're crazy. Just you're tired. It's always you're tired.
You're tired.
You're
tired.
You need to take a nap.
You're very
sleepy.
tired. You're sleepy.
That was a really good one.
That was a really good one. There's no topping that.
No, I don't really have a scary one, but I have kind of a funny one where I was actually scared.
Oh yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So Josh and I went on a trip to Barbados.
To clarify, Josh is a human person.
Josh is a human person, yes. We went on a trip to Barbados. And I, being a photographer, like absolutely love like sunset and sunrise. And I am always gonna go on vacation. I don't care that you get up early, like it's just my thing.
Yeah.
So I always take my camera and I go, well, you know, in the US, like I go alone. But when I'm like overseas, not like I travel a ton, but like if we're in a foreign country, like I'm not gonna go alone. So I make him come, and he's not a morning person, but I'm like, okay, we're going. So we were in this really cool resort that had like all little like kind of like bungalows along the water. And so we go, it's dark when we're leaving because it's dark. And me being like a photographer, you know, you have to get like the perfect picture. You like, you're like staking it out like the whole time you're at this resort. Like, okay, I'm going to walk down these stairs. I'm going to do this, you know? So we walk all the way down to where we're going. And he's like, why don't we just stay up here? I think it would be better, like vantage point. Like we'll be able to see over the water and, you know, the background. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm the photographer. Like, no. We're
wrong.
definitely going down the stairs. So there's this huge staircase down the stairs. So we're going down. It's still dark. And I see out of the corner of my eye, like movement. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but we're still going. Like there's no way we're not. So we go, and we're getting further away from the resort at this point. And the sun is starting to come up, and I'm getting the camera ready, and I'm not really paying attention to my surroundings because I'm totally focused on the pictures. Yeah. And so we're like, I probably can't tell you how far we were, but in my head, we're probably like a half a mile from the resort at this point. Like we're like along the water, like. And when I say in the woods, it's like palm trees. It's not like actual woods, but we're like pretty far away. And now there's donkeys. Like I can tell there's donkeys.
Like stray donkeys?
Like stray donkeys, like all around us.
Like donkeys in the wild?
Yes. And now I'm like, oh my God, like the sun's starting to come up. There's donkeys, like they like surrounded us. And not only that, now I'm like, we need to go back. Like seriously, I was starting to panic, and I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have to like climb the palm trees. Josh is like, that is definitely not gonna work. Like you can't climb a palm tree. And so I am like literally starting to have a panic attack. I'm like, oh, we're gonna die here. He's like, they're not gonna attack us.
Why did you think the donkeys would hurt you?
I don't know, but I was petrified. And so now, you know, you shut off your cell phone usually when you're traveling over like in other countries because you're going to rack up like money.
Sure.
So we always shut our cell phones off like at the airport, and we only use the Wi-Fi on the resort. And I was like, I'm calling the front desk. He's like, do not turn on your cell phone. And I was like, no, I am calling. And I start crying and I sit down and I'm like, I'm a mother and my kids are at home and I have to call the front. He's like, you're not going to call the front. I literally was crying. I was sitting on the ground, like afraid that we're going to get attacked by donkeys. And then not only that, I'm like, we're just going to go back. We just got to run past them and we're going to go back. I was like, we gotta go back to the resort. Well, they started fogging. They fog in the morning to get rid of all the bugs.
Oh,
so now we can't even get back to
donkeys.
the resort.
I thought they were like spraying something.
I have pictures after the podcast. I will show you. We were surrounded by donkeys, and I was dying. And he's like, "This is why I don't get up to go to sunrise." Like he was like pissed. He was like, "Are you serious?" So I did call the front desk. I'm like, "Hi, like
I'm stuck with the donkeys.
I'm in room such and such," and I'm like, how do we get away from the donkeys? And they were like, just walk past them. Like they're
not going to do anything to you.
And I literally thought we were going to die. So, and I really was scared. I was crying.
Oh, Kristen.
Yeah.
I just think you're gonna cry now.
Seriously, getting all caught up.
This is pouring some salt on some very open wounds still.
I am a mother and I'm going to die here. My kids are never going to see me again.
I think that's my favorite. I'm a mother.
It was a pretty funny story. And of course, his parents like travel all over the world all the time. And they're like we're telling them the story. And I'm like amped up about it. I'm like, oh my God, we almost died from the donkeys. And they're like,
You mean the lazy, peaceful horses?
right.
That you like travel with like as companions usually?
I did though. I got caught up in it for like days. I was like, oh my God.
I'm pretty sure if you're not made of hay, you're perfectly safe from donkeys.
I'm going to show you guys the pictures after. You're going to know what I meant.
All right.
You're going to be scared too. You're never going to go to Barbados. Even though
I'll still go, but
Barbados is one of the most unbelievable places I've ever been.
really,
We should go.
All right.
Family trip.
Do you have to bring the kids?
Can we have a donkey on the podcast?
Yes.
Let's just go on a donkey exploration.
We're going to get just a big giant cutout of one.
But I want him to like be cartoony, like facing, like turned, like, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to kill you.
Murder.
Yeah. So that was my like scary moment in time.
Bill's losing it over there.
No, I was really scared.
So we now know how to scare you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
It wouldn't be that hard to get a donkey in here and just have it at her desk.
Okay, so what about you?
I'm still thinking.
You're like, now I really
I know
can't
mine
top
if you want me
that.
to go first.
Yeah, you can go.
So I don't believe in ghosts, so I unfortunately don't have one like that. But
ghosts.
this was legitimately very scary. So this actually happened earlier this year. I sweep my own chimney.
Oh no.
It's ill-advised. And late last year when I went to go sweep the chimney, I didn't set the ladder correctly to climb up. And my roof it's a flat roof, but it's about 30 feet in the air. So it's pretty high. And so I got to the top rung of the ladder, and on the last step from the ladder to the roof, the ladder shifted like about 8 inches underneath me because it wasn't footed properly. And so that terrified me. But the scariest part was now I'm on a 30-foot roof and I have to get back down. And the ladder's still there, but I know I cannot trust the ladder at this point. There's no way.
So you're standing on the roof.
Yeah.
By
I
yourself?
did what I needed to do. I swept the chimney and all that. But yeah, so the scariest moment I've ever had was having to step back off the roof onto the ladder.
That is terrifying.
Knowing that it's clearly not set correctly and it's a huge hazard.
Oh.
And Allie wasn't out there.
No, she was. I had her holding the bottom of the ladder. But I called her. I called her from inside from up on the roof. I called her. She was inside. I was like, "You need to hold it, but also, like,
you don't want to kill her on the way down by accident."
Well, no, she's a 4'11" woman, and it's
what are you saying about 4'11" woman?
As in she's very small and can only grip the bottom of the ladder.
No, I know. Yeah.
And I'm a 180-pound guy on the top rung, meaning I have all this leverage. Meaning, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger would be hard pressed to hold the ladder steady if it was going over. Like, that's just a ton of. I'm just a giant pendulum at the top,
Yep.
And my roof doesn't have like a lip, so it's the edge, and then you can't see the ladder when you're on the roof. And so I had to kneel and then step blind and feel with my foot for where the rung was.
That is terrifying to me.
And just the moment where the other foot was coming off the roof onto the ladder and having to trust the ladder that I know I can't trust is probably the most scared I've ever been. Like, actually, my palms are sweaty thinking
You're like,
about it.
"Ugh."
Yeah, no, you're making me nervous. Like,
And so I actually
that's
just swept my chimney
awful.
this past weekend again, and I made sure I set the ladder right. But my wife was watching me from the ground. She's like, "You're shaking like a leaf the whole
I
way
guess
up."
I'm
Like literally,
That's
like
awful.
Like you could see my legs trembling, and it was the whole time I was on the roof. I was like terrified. So
I don't blame
I'll
you.
probably hire someone next year,
next year
Yeah.
will be. I'll
or
pay
I'll
for
get
that.
a bigger ladder.
Can't they do it from inside? Like with the tool?
Well, I have a story about that too. So most chimneys go out the house and then go straight up.
Yes.
Because we have an A-frame, all of our exterior walls are angled. So our chimney goes out the house and then turns really sharply up. So normally you can bend a fiberglass rod through the inside and then sweep from the inside. I tried that the first year we had the house, but I didn't account for the extra steep bend. And so while the brush was about a third up the chimney, the fiberglass rod snapped. And so now the chimney was stuck, and I also got like fiberglass splinters in my hands.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
goodness.
my wife came home like 10 minutes later, and I'm elbow deep in the chimney, like desperately trying to get this thing out. And the first thing she said to me was, "You got soot on my carpet."
How dare you?
And then she saw how severe the situation was, and then just left.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll walk away
But
from
yeah,
this.
so that's why I have to go on the roof, because it's because of our chimney design. You can't do the normal thing people do to keep themselves safe. So
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I guess my story would be about wasps.
I'm surprised it's not ghosts. Although I guess you like
I haven't
ghosts.
had any real ghost experiences. Like
guess
if
that's true.
I,
And also, you might just be happy about it.
I think I'd be like,
You'd be like, "Oh,
"Woo,
hey."
yes, let's have a tea party.
I'm sorry. I need to just. Brian's locked out.
Oh, of The Office?
Yeah.
Well,
Is The
good.
Office
We're
locked?
recording.
Oh, Bill's gonna let
Is
us-
that outside door locked?
Oh, yeah, I did lock it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you need to leave? You need to leave at 1:30. Okay, it's
It's
12:52.
So we got
This is
that.
our final story.
Yep.
And then we went about twice as long this time.
Yes, we did. I hate bees. Like, I'm terrified of bees. Honeybees, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not going to kill you. But like hornets, wasps, like, I hate them all. They terrify me. I am a person that runs like ballistically if one is in my space.
Like the spider.
No, I don't hate spiders that much. He just went blue to the corner of my eye and was
sorry.
like, hello. And he didn't prepare me. So that's a different story.
He didn't announce his presence.
He didn't. He just was like,
just so everyone knows,
hanging-
I'm repelling from the ceiling.
hanging
I'm
from his
coming.
butt string, like just like hello, butt strings. Anyways, so it was like a Sunday afternoon years ago. Cooked a bunch of food on the grill, like steak tips. I had like macaroni salad, corn on the cob, like it was whatever. But I think it was about to start to rain, so we were like, let's eat this in the basement, watch the game or whatever. So we go downstairs. I sit down. I'm like, like this is great. It was a finished basement. All of a sudden, I don't know the difference between hornet and wasp, but it was a mean one. Okay, a mean buzz. This thing came at me, and I swear it's like thorax was like bright red. So this was like venomous, and it was coming at me like from the corners of the basement, like purposely to me. It saw me and it was like, I'm coming at you. And I was like, oh my God, no. And I got up and I moved and it followed me and it kept following me. So my natural reaction was to take my plate of food and like throw it at the bee. And I was like, no. So I threw it and I ran upstairs and I closed the door. And we were renting a duplex at the time, and our landlords were on the other side, and they were from Cambodia, I believe. Didn't speak a whole lot of English. Lovely people. Boone, Beth, and Takak were their names. So I knocked on their door, and I was like, I need help. There's bees in the basement. Now I had gone to the window in the basement, and now I saw two of them. Two of the same red thoraxed killers.
It's like the killer bees. Did you hear that a couple years ago? There was like killer bees.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was them. This is how they started, except it was like 15 years ago. This is what they
This is how they
mated and they had
started.
babies, and that's how they spawned. So I'm like watching them through the window, and they're there like together. Like I swear to God, they were looking at me, like pointing and laughing. Like we kicked her out. So Boone Beth, of course, the woman, goes into the basement with a rag, and she's like smashes them, and she comes back up, and she's like, they were probably there because of the food. as if I had left the food there and it attracted the bees. And so I had to say out loud, I threw the food at them in defense. And
yeah,
that's it.
That was
I know
it.
that doesn't sound scary, but to me,
In the moment, that sounds pretty
that was
scary.
These are scary.
and absolutely terrible. Like I was shaking. I couldn't eat. My food was on the floor, so I really.
I mean, the bees ate my
The
food.
bees ate my food, but those things were out. It was personal. I don't know why. I don't know what I did, but it was personal, and I felt attacked.
Have you considered taking like martial arts lessons on how to defend yourself properly with a plate of food?
Go swish, swish.
Yeah, you can't go overhand. You got to go.
Yeah, I know this was like like I think I made that noise. I was like and then ran up the stairs. I was like, no.
That's like me in Animal Crossing when the bees come out of the trees.
Oh yeah, and they sting you. Well, they're
Yeah.
gonna sting you no matter what. So you go
I
get
just
those
like run.
honeycombs and
Run.
make those things.
You gotta get your net out.
I gotta make those pastes. Be healed from the bee stings.
Be afraid.
Very afraid.
We have officially lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we ever had it.
Yeah,
No.
that's
No.
a good
To be
point.
perfectly honest,
That's a good point.
I think that's the point.
Yep. I guess we don't know anything. We
We definitely don't know anything.
don't know anything.
Do you know anything?
I don't
Maggie?
know anything.
I don't know anything. Not a single thing.
Nope.
Well, we know you don't like bees.
I know that.
And we know I'm afraid of donkeys.
That is new information.
Imagine donkeys with bee thoraxes.
I have a feeling the story's going to come back up to haunt me.
Gonna
We're
find the
making clips of
donkey
it.
emoji tonight.
Is that the noise they actually make?
I don't know.
Probably.
They weren't
like
making it.
Aw.
Let's have everyone go around and do their best donkey impression real quick.
Okay.
That was good. Aw.
No, you got to go deeper on the haw part.
I think we might win a Pulitzer for this one.
Well, Maggie, did you enjoy your time with us?
I did.
Did you have
Thank
a
you
good
for
time?
having me. I did.
It's not as scary as you thought,
It was
right?
still terrifying, but it was okay.
Not just the Halloween part, just the podcast part.
Once you get going, you forget. You forget that you're.
My microphone kind of fell a couple of
That's
times,
okay.
but it's okay.
It's all good. I had a good time.
Me too. Successful Halloween podcast.
Yeah.
I think we
You-
nailed it.
We out.
Peace.
Please
Wait.
don't actually drop my microphones.
No.